And next we continue to get you breaking news on Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. It is a fresh setback for the Delhi Chief Minister as the Supreme Court has refused an urgent hearing challenging the High Court order. Arvind Kejriwal, who continues to be lodged at the Tihar jail, was hoping for immediate relief as the matter had now been at the Supreme Court, but the top court refusing an urgent hearing for Arvind Kejriwal in the liquor gate case. The CJI has refused to hear plea on an urgent basis. Arvind Kejriwal, who is in judicial custody, currently lodged at Tihar jail. Remember, the plea was mentioned before the CJI, but the Supreme Court has refused an urgent hearing on this matter. Let me straight away cut across to my colleague Riyanka, who's joining us from outside the Supreme Court to get us the latest of what transpired in the Apex Court. Over to you, Riyanka.
Absolutely right. No relief for Arvind Kejriwal if we see, because the Supreme Court has refused the urgent hearing in terms of Arvind Kejriwal knocking the doors of the Apex Court, challenging the order of the Delhi High Court against his arrest and the remand by the Enforcement Directorate. Well, if we talk about the CJI has said to the senior advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi that you send the petition via email, we will look into it, but has refused to give an urgent hearing into the matter. Now what we see that setback for Arvind Kejriwal continues in the liquor gate case because one after the other the heat is rising on the Delhi Chief Minister. Senior advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi has mentioned, he had in fact mentioned the plea of the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal in front of the Supreme Court, but the court had gone ahead and refused to hear the matter. If we talk about Arvind Kejriwal and his counsel, they had in fact sought an hearing as soon as 10:30 a.m. But the CJI, on the other hand, refusing to hear that, looks like a setback for him once again. So now the petition has to be sent via an email, and then the CJI will look into the matter. Now, if we see on the other side, the Delhi High Court yesterday had called Arvind Kejriwal arrest to be legal and said that the Enforcement Directorate has enough and more evidence to keep him in the custody. We know that Arvind Kejriwal has been sent to the judicial custody on 1st of April till 15th of April. So heat is rising in terms of for the Delhi Chief Minister, but we will have to wait and watch what happens next. How does this matter take a way ahead from here, because the CJI is yet to comment whether he will be taking up this matter, because remember, this was not listed today, it was just mentioned before the Supreme Court.
Continue talking to us, Riyanka, because there clearly is no relief from any side for Arvind Kejriwal, who was also urging that he needed to meet his lawyers 5 times a week, which is actually set at 2 days in a week, and that is what it remains. And even in terms of other legal strategies that the Aam Aadmi Party is exploring at this time, desperately wanting to get Arvind Kejriwal out of jail, nothing is helping, really.
Yeah, if we see it that way, nothing is working out in favor of the Delhi Chief Minister, who has been named as the kingpin in the Liquorgate case, because the ED constantly is maintaining that it is neck deep into the investigation of the matter, and have said that Arvind Kejriwal was a part of the formation and implementation of the Delhi excise policy, and he has received the money, the kickbacks during this time when, in fact, the South Group was also involved. They had given 100 crore kickback. So if you talk about the setback from the Rouse Avenue court today, we know as per the jail manual, Arvind Kejriwal can meet his lawyers twice a week. He had challenged that. He had sought a meeting for 5 days a week with his lawyers, which the Rouse Avenue court today has dismissed, and which is another setback for Arvind Kejriwal. So he has to follow the jail manual. He will be only given 2 days a week to meet his lawyers. His counsel had argued that there are more than 30 cases pending against the Delhi Chief Minister. It is important that he gets to meet his lawyers more than twice a week to sort the entire issue, but this has been dismissed by the Rouse Avenue court.